Good morning, children. Today we are going to start with very important and very interesting chapter of class 11, that is the organic compounds nomenclature. IUPAC nomenclature we are going to begin with. So we will be talking right from the basics of the nomenclature so that you are able to name them effectively. So let us see, if any organic compound is given, the name of the organic compound will consist of three parts. Now, what are the parts? Number one is the prefix. After the prefix, you write is word root, and after word root, you mention suffix. Now, what each term includes, we will be talking about prefix. Prefix means what is written before it, means which is written in the beginning. Now this itself is also of two types. Okay, that is secondary prefix. It is secondary prefix, and then you have is primary prefix. Now what all things are included in primary and secondary we will be considering, but suffix further is of two types. Suffix you will have primary suffix, and then you have a secondary suffix. You cannot change the order. This order has to be like this. You have to write down this order. Okay, let me mark. Like you have to write down this order: prefix, word root. You cannot change the order. Now, in case this is there, you have to write. If this is not there, you may begin from here only. Okay, so that means this is definitely required. Word root is always there. Let me consider the examples, then further it will be clear. Now, secondary prefix. Secondary prefix includes the names of the secondary functional groups. Secondary functional groups means these are the secondary functional group. Secondary functional group means in case there are two functional groups, then the one that is more important is written in the secondary suffix, and the one that is not important is written here in the first one, that is in the prefix. It may also include the side chains. Side chains means those carbon atom which are not included in the main chain. That means you can say the alkyl radicals and all, or you can say the substituents. Now, secondary functional group, the one that is not important, and at the same time there are certain functional groups which are always named in the prefix. So they have to be written in the prefix. Then side chain means in case they are not included in the main chain. We will consider these examples also. Now, primary prefix. Primary prefix is normally written in case the ring is present. That means in case it is cyclo. Say cyclohexane, then we will write down cyclo before the word root. Or sometimes, there is spiro, bicyclo. Now, what are these? Let me tell you here itself so that you do not have any confusion. Now, suppose you have like this. You have 3 carbon atom present in the ring. So you will write down as cyclo first and then the word root and then the suffix. When we are taking further examples, no, it will be clear. Initially, you may feel what we are taking. Now, what is spiro? Spiro is in case the, you have a structure something like this. This is spiro. That means in the center, you get the cross-like thing. Okay, bicyclo means this. Two rings are there and they are fused in such a manner that they come like this. There is a difference between this and this. In this, there is one carbon atom here in the center and there is a cross-like thing. This is bicyclo. Okay, two rings, they are fused in such a manner, like this it is. Okay, so though you do not have many such examples of spiro and bicyclo, but definitely cyclo you will have the examples. Okay, Then further, you have word root. What is included in word root? Word root includes the number of the carbon atoms. It includes number of carbon atoms. Here I am telling you this, but separately all these I am going to consider. Okay. Then primary suffix. Primary suffix includes the name, the number of the bonds. If there are all single bonds, then the primary suffix is written as "ane." If there is double bond, at least one double bond also, the primary suffix will change as "ing." And if there is a triple bond, then the primary suffix will change as "ein." Okay, then secondary suffix. Secondary suffix includes the name of the main functional group. It includes the name of the main functional group. Main functional group means whose names always come in the suffix. Those like all, alcohol ke liye we write on all, oic acid, ul, etc. Further, when we are naming, you will know. But as of now, I'm telling you. But sometimes there are two functional groups. Sometimes there are two functional groups, then the name of the main functional group is written at the end as a suffix, and the secondary, the less important one, is named here in the prefix. So if I say what is the complete order, if everything is present, if there is alkyl radical also present, there is cyclic thing also present, the word root is there, in of course has to be there, and the secondary functional group is also the main functional order, secondary suffix is also present, then the complete order has to be secondary prefix first, then primary prefix, then word root, primary suffix, secondary suffix. This will be the complete order. Okay, but this again I am telling you, this may or may not be present. This one may or may not be present. Depends upon what example we are considering. This has to be always present, word root. Without this, the name is never there. Primary suffix has to be present. There has to be "ein" or "een" or "ein." This one may or may not be present depending upon what the structure is. That means every compound, every organic compound will surely have a word root and a primary suffix. Now let us take one by one their examples and consider how we are supposed to name them. Now let's see if the number of the carbon atoms are different, how the word root will change. If you have one carbon atom, the word root is "meeth." I am writing dash at the back. Dash means here something has to be added after it. What is to be added? Just now you have studied after word root what is to be added? Primary suffix is to be added. For 2 carbon atom, what is the word root? We write "eth." For 3 carbon atom, you write "pro." For 4 carbon atom, "but." For 5 carbon atoms, you write it as "pent." For 6 carbon atoms, "hex." For 7 carbon atoms, "hept." For 8 carbon atoms, you write it as "oct." For 9 carbon atoms, "non." And for 10 carbon atoms, you write it as "dec." Okay, so please watch till the end. Okay, then only there will be a connectivity. If you watch my one video and do not watch the other one, or the last one you start watching before, then the sequence will be lost. So for the nomenclature, right from the first video of the nomenclature till, maybe it will require 2-3 videos to complete the nomenclature. Okay, so this is about the word root. Then accordingly, if there is a single bond or a double bond or a triple bond, you will add on here "ein," "een" or "ein." Now I will take one by one each example, and try to name them how we are taking. So I am starting with alkane. Now, what is this alk? Alk stands for the word root. Alk stands for the word root. How many carbon atoms are there? And ane just now I told you, ane stands for single bond. So, if the number of the carbon atoms are this, 1, 2, 3, 4, how will these be named? We will be naming them just now. Now, before that, we just see alkanes. These are, saturated hydrocarbons. These are saturated hydrocarbons. Now, what are saturated hydrocarbons? Saturated hydrocarbons are those which have single bond, and they will have the general formula CnH2n plus 2. They will satisfy this. Okay, now if we write down on the basis of this, at least till 5 carbon atom, I will write it and show you. So if you have, see, 1 carbon atom and complete according to this. See, 1 stands for the number of, this N stands for the number of carbon atom. If it is 1, you can see this will be 4. You may have C2H6. Now I will expand it and write CH3, CH2, CH3, 3 carbon atom. We may write it as for 4 carbon atom. Instead of writing 4 carbon atom like this in an extended manner, I may also write down CH2 taken twice. It means CH2 is appearing twice in between these two. Okay. I will also write down one more CH2 taken thrice now and CH3. Okay. Now, let us try to name them. 1 carbon atom. 1 carbon atom word root is meth. Single bond, ane. So we will name it as methane. 2 carbon atoms, eth. Single bond, ane, ethane. 3 carbon atoms, prop. Single bonds, ane. 4 carbon atom, bute, ane. 5 carbon atom, pent and ane. Got it till here? Now, as of now, I have considered only straight. This one, for 4 carbon atom, I have written only straight chain 4 carbon atoms, straight chain 5 carbon atoms. The further branched ones and all I am going to take separately in isomerism. Okay. Now, what if I remove from alkane 1 hydrogen atom? This is CnH2n plus 2. If I remove 1 hydrogen atom from here, what will it become? It will become CnH2n plus 1 and dash. Dash, why? Because the valency of the carbon will be disturbed now. So this is now not complete, but it is a radical, and the radical obtained from alkane is called as alkyl radical. Now we will be considering what all alkyl radicals can be obtained from these. Okay. Let me write from CH4. If I remove 1, it will become CH3. 1 hydrogen, if I remove, it will become a radical. Okay. This is, no, don't confuse this with the bond. This is a radical. Okay. From ethane, that is CH3, CH3. If I remove 1 hydrogen, it will become CH3, CH2. We'll name them just now. Now, if I remove from the next one, that is propane, this one, this is propane. Now, there is a possibility that I may remove hydrogen from here or I may remove from here. So, if I remove from here, that is a terminal carbon atom, then I will get a radical CH3, CH2, CH2 dash. If I remove from the center carbon atom, then I will get another radical, that is CH3, CH, CH3 and dash. Now, why we are getting 2 different types here? You can see there are 2 types of carbon atom in this. Now, what are these type I am talking about? This carbon atom is linked to 1 carbon atom. So, this carbon atom is called as primary carbon atom. This is primary. This carbon atom, center one, is linked to 2 carbons. So, this one is 2 degree. That is secondary carbon atom. Carbon atom linked to 1 carbon is called primary. Linked to 2 carbons is secondary. So, this one is, this is a radical which is obtained from by removing hydrogen from 1 degree carbon atom. So, you will name this radical as N-propyl. N-propyl means normal propyl. Sorry, normal propyl radical. This one is called as isopropyl. This is isopropyl radical. These are radicals. So, radicals means I have to put a dash. This cannot exist as such. You have to add some name to it. Okay, likewise, what will be the name of this radical? It is methyl. This one is ethyl radical. Okay, so these I have written are the radicals which are obtained from them. Okay, from methane you'll get methyl, from ethane you'll get ethyl, from propane you will get two different radicals. That is N-propyl and isopropyl. This isopropyl is also called as secondary propyl, but more commonly we are calling this as isopropyl only because this is removed from the secondary carbon atom. We can also call this as secondary propyl. Okay, but as further if we are considering, that is for 4 carbon atoms, if we are considering, you will find that there is a difference between normal, this is secondary and iso. Okay, let me take that example and write down. So if I write with 4 carbon atoms, that is say CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3. Now, I have to tell that branch thing also, because if I have to teach the radicals, I may write this butane as CH3, CH, CH3 and CH3. Now, if I see as per CnH2n plus 2, that is alkane formula, you will find both are correct. Both are having C4H10. Okay, so both are the isomers. Of course, we will be also talking about this later in isomerism. Now, this particular butane is having two types of carbon atom. This is primary carbon atom. This is primary carbon atom. This one is linked to two different carbon atoms. So, this is secondary carbon atom. This one is linked to two. This is also secondary carbon atom. In this, how many types of carbon atoms are there? Two types. How? This is primary, this is primary, this is primary. This one is linked to 3 carbon atoms. So this is tertiary carbon atom. Okay, so primary is linked to 1 carbon atom and primary is always the terminal one. And the secondary is linked to 2, tertiary is linked to 3, quaternary will be linked to 4. But in this you do not have that you will not have that radical. Okay, now here if I remove hydrogen from this, I will get one radical. If I remove hydrogen from here, if I remove hydrogen from here, or I remove from here. So based on this, for butane, you will have 4 different radicals. So let me write here and explain this one. So if I remove from primary, I will get a radical CH3, CH2, CH2, CH2. This is removed from a primary carbon atom. So this is called as N-butyl. N stands for normal. If I remove hydrogen from a secondary carbon atom, I will get here CH3, CH2, CH, CH3 and this. This is specifically, I can say this is secondary. Why? Because it is removed from a secondary carbon atom. So this is called as secondary butyl. This is not iso. For but, onward iso and secondary are different. How? We will consider just now. If I remove hydrogen from here, in the second structure of butane, this is isobutane. If I remove from the terminal one, that is this one, I will get, one second, I will get a radical like this, CH3, CH, CH2 dash and CH3. This is called as isobutyl. This is called as isobutyl radical. Now, why isobutyl? Why? Because iso normally has one branch, means the total number of carbon atoms are 4. But now the length is of 3 and one is as a branch. This is isobutyl radical. Secondary specifically is when the number of carbon atoms are say 4, the length is also 4. But the hydrogen is removed from secondary carbon atom. So this is secondary butyl. If I remove from a tertiary carbon atom, now I will say that is tertiary butyl radical. This is if I remove from here, I will get a radical like this. This is called as tertiary butyl. Tertiary butyl radical. Clear? So please maintain notes side by side whatever I am explaining, then only you will be able to understand. After 2-3 videos of nomenclature, you will be surely very confident in naming all organic compounds. Now let's take another type, that is alkene. The general formula of alkene is CnH2n. It is a type of a saturated hydrocarbon. Any hydrocarbon which is having a multiple bond, that is A double bond or a triple bond, they are called as saturated hydrocarbons. These are saturated hydrocarbons. Now, at least for a alkene, 2 carbon atoms are must. Now, in this, what is alk? Alk means word root. Ene means double bond. So, at least 2 carbon atoms are must. So, it will be CH2, CH2. Or we may put a double bond with 3 carbon atoms total. You can complete the valencies on your own. And see one more example we will take. CH3, CH2, CH and a double bond here. Okay, so what you have to do? Nothing very great. 2 carbon atoms are there. Eth, double bond, ene. 3 carbon atoms. 3 carbon atoms, prop, double bond, ene. Here you needn't specify the position because the numbering has to be done from the side where the double bond is getting a lesser position. So obviously it has to be numbered from right hand side. So it is prop ene. So sometimes you will find prop 1 ene written, but that is irrelevant. It's not required in this case. Now what about this? Here it is important because there is one more possible structure for it. I may put a double bond here in the center. So here it is must to specify. If I say butene, then which butene it is? But 1 ene or 2 ene? In this case, I have to number from right hand side because I have to give a lower position to the multiple bond. If I number from right hand side, the double bond is there between 1 and 2, though it is there between 1 and 2, I will write down the position as 1. The lower position has to be written always. Clear? Now, let's take another one. This case, you can number from left or right. The double bond is not getting affected. So, the name is but2ene. Don't think if I put a double bond here, you will name it as but3ene. In that case, I'll start numbering from left hand side. Okay. Now, let us take the next example of alkyne. Alkyne. The general formula of alkyne is CnH2n minus 2. This is also, a saturated hydrocarbon. Saturated hydrocarbons, as I said, they have double or triple bond. Okay. Now, even this, alk is word root, ine is for triple bond. So, we'll begin with the basic one, that is for 2 carbon atom, triple bond is there. You can see, you can take one more example. You may write still one more with 4 carbon atom. Like this thing, double bond, you will have like this. You can complete the valencies, I think. This is H3. Every carbon atom will have 4 bonds. This is H2. This will be H. This will be H3. This will not have anything. This will have H3. So quickly we'll name them. 2 carbon atoms, eth. Triple bond, ine. Prop. 3 carbon atoms, prop, triple bond, ine. But, ine. No need to specify the position. We know it has to be numbered from right hand side because the triple bond has to be given preference. In this case, you can write, but, this is but2ine. Here, if you write 1, you are not wrong. You are still right. In this case, because many times the 1 is there, we may omit the position. But if I am asking you, draw the structure of butine, it's understood it is there at the terminal position. If I am saying, draw the structure of but2ine, then you mean, I want the triple bond here at the, in the center. Till here, did you follow? Okay, so now in the next videos, I will be talking about the other functional groups, how individually they have to be named. And then at the end, I will be considering if, more side chains are there, more complicated chains are there, and if 2 functional groups are there, how we are supposed to name them. So those we'll be discussing in the upcoming videos. Thanks for watching.